So we return to Premier League action on Sunday with a very tough looking game here at the Emirates against Wolves. In this video, I preview that match. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over again, the Positive Arsenal channel. In this video, I'm going to look ahead to Sunday's big Premier League game here at the Emirates against Wolves. Just before I do that, I want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. So if you like what I do, please click the subscribe button down in the corner there. Please give this video the thumbs up as well. If you've got any comments at all about the match against Wolves, about our recent form or anything at all to do with Arsenal, please drop them in the comments box because I love to hear from you guys as well. So previous meetings against Wolves, and in history, we've met Wolves 116 times in all competitions. We've actually won half of those games with 58 wins. Wolves have won 30 and there's been 28 draws. Here at home, actually, against Wolves, they haven't won an away game against Arsenal since September 1979, which is a run of 11 games at home, of which we've won 7 and drawn 4. But 3 of those 4 draws have actually been the last 3 meetings that we've faced Wolves here at the Emirates. They've all finished in a 1-1 draw. Of course, last season's game, Aubameyang gave us the lead in the first half, and it was Jimenez, of course, who equalised in the second half. And that's the second season in a row since Wolves returned to the Premier League that they've drawn 1-1 at the Emirates. And in fact, their last game prior to that in the 2011-2012 season, they also drew 1-1 here as well. We haven't beaten them at the Emirates going back to February 2011, which was a 2-0 victory. And I say since then, we've drawn all 3 meetings. So we certainly due a win at home to Wolves. We've got quite a good history, as I say, against Wolves in recent years. We've only lost 1 of our last 23 meetings in all competitions, and that was a 3-1 defeat at Molineux in April 2019. In fact, we've won 17 and drawn 5 of those last 23 meetings in all competitions. That's both home and away. So we do have a good record against Wolves. There hasn't been a goalless draw actually between the sides since August 1975, which was at Molineux. That was 33 meetings ago, and there hasn't been a 0-0 draw in North London between the sides since November 1974, and we've played 16 times in North London since without a goalless draw. So no doubt this game's going to finish 0-0. Our biggest win over Wolves at home was a 7-0 victory in December 1934, so a long time ago. We did also win 5-0 in September 1937. And Wolves, their biggest win here was a 6-1 victory, which was in August 1946. In recent years, of course, we've had some big cup meetings with Wolves, haven't we? We've beaten them twice in the FA Cup semi-final. 1979 at Villa Park, it was 2-0. And then in 1998, also at Villa Park, it was 1-0. Christopher Ray, of course, with that goal, as we went on to win the double. And we also beat them 5-1 in the League Cup in 2003, a game that marked Cesc Fabregas' first goal for the club. And I think he became the youngest ever goal scorer in Arsenal's history that night as well. So that's some of the recent meetings between the sides. I say we've got the edge historically, certainly over the last 20, 30 years. But I say Wolves have got a habit of picking up a draw here at the Emirates in recent years, haven't they? So the predicted lineup then, yeah, it's going to be a tough one to call again, isn't it? We've been calling for changes for the last few weeks. Mikel Arteta, of course, went with a 4-2-3-1 system at Leeds last week, and although it didn't really work, we can't get rid of it after one game. Surely it needs more time. So I'll be surprised if he changes the system too much for this game. In terms of personnel, I don't think there'll be that many changes from Leeds. Of course, Nicolas Pepe suspended, so I think we're going to line up like this. I think it'll be Bernd Leno in goal. I think it will be a back 4. So I think it'll be Bellerin, David Luiz, Gabriel and Tierney. I think the 2 holding midfield players will be Ceballos and Xhaka, of course still without Thomas Partey and Mohamed El Neni. I think Joe Willock again will probably get the nod as the 3rd midfield player just in front. And then I think the 2 players playing either side of the centre forward. I think the centre forward actually might be Alexander Lacazette with Willian injured. There's still slight doubts over Saka as well. I'm going to assume Saka's fit. If he's fit, I think he'll play. I think he'll play maybe on the right with Aubameyang on the left. And I say possibly Alexander Lacazette through the middle, just because of the injuries that we've got. Martinelli's not quite ready yet. Maybe Eddie Nketiah might get a nod. So that's my predicted team lineup and my predicted formation. I do feel it won't be far off that. Arteta does normally throw in, of course, a surprise or 2, doesn't he? So we'll see. But that's certainly the team that I'm predicting. Well, I mean, the obvious scoreline to predict would be a 1-1 draw, wouldn't it? So the last three times Wolves have visited the Emirates, that's been the score. It seems to be a favourite score of Wolves this season as well. They've had quite a lot of draws. They had a lot of draws last season. I wouldn't be at all surprised if this game does finish in a 1-1 draw. It's an important game for Arsenal to win. You know, we've got some really hard games coming up as well. Obviously, Spurs next weekend, which is going to be really tough as well. And I think we need to go into that with at least some sort of momentum. That the 0-0 draw at Leeds last week was really disappointing on the back of the 3-0 defeat against Aston Villa. Of course, we're not scoring goals. That seems to be the biggest problem, and Wolves are very tight at the back, so it is going to be a very difficult game. Wolves are going to come here, they're going to sit deep, and we're going to have to try to break them down, and that's not really what we're suited to with the current side. We're more of a counter-attacking team, if anything, and we're not going to really get the opportunities to counter Wolves too much, because they're going to play the way that they always play and make it difficult, and it's going to be a really tough game, isn't it? I think overall we'd probably take a draw, but it's a game that we really need to win, and if we can sneak this 1-0 or 2-1, that's going to be a great result. But I've got to be honest with you, my prediction is going to be another 1-1 draw. So that's that there then, a preview of the game against Wolves on Sunday at the Emirates. I say it's a big game for Arsenal. It's so important. We have to try and win this game. We can't go into the game against Spurs on the back of another game without a win, and certainly without a goal. We've got to score goals in this game, surely. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the team selection so much because of the Europa League game in the week. Lots and lots of stuff going on at the minute as well behind the scenes by the look of it. Players unhappy, the William Saliba situation, all kinds of stuff going on. So Mikel Arteta needs to turn this around. He needs to turn it around quickly. We can't afford too many more performances like we've been producing over the last few weeks. This is a good opportunity to try and get back to winning ways, but it's going to be a tough game. If we can get a win here, I think it could really set us up nicely for the rest of the season, because Wolves don't lose many, do they? They've only lost 2 games all season. It's going to be a tough game, but it's a really important game for Arsenal when we really do need to try and find a way to win this game. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel down in the corner if you haven't done so already. We've got lots of good stuff coming up. I will be doing a watch along of the game on Sunday. I'm also hoping to get another watch along done for the women, the Arsenal women as well, playing this weekend. If I can get a stream and I can get to see the game, I will do a watch along of that. So stay tuned to the channel. Lots going on. And let's hope that on Sunday we can bounce back and get the victory that we desperately need. And in the meantime, of course, as always, we finish the same way, don't we? Try and be optimistic and positive. Come on, you Gunners!